In this video, we'll go through how to make a quick sketch of the basic sine graph y equals negative sine of 4x. All right, so we have the general form of the equation for reference as well as an outline. And we'll start with step 1, find the essentials. So identify a and b. You see a is the leading coefficient. That's an understood -1 here. I like to put a star here. If there's a negative out front, that means you have a vertical reflection of your base pattern or your key point pattern, and we'll talk more about that in step 2. So for now, it's enough to know, take the absolute value of that, and you've got the amplitude. So 1 unit from the midline up to the max or down to the min. Okay, next is b. That's the coefficient in front of x. In this case, it's 4, and we use that to find the period. Calculate by 2 pi divided by b. So 2 pi over 4 reduces to pi over 2. And remember, period is just the horizontal length of one complete cycle. Now that we have the period, let's take that and divide it by 4. That gets us what we can use as our horizontal scale. And this setup just ensures that each key point in the next step lines up nicely with a horizontal tick mark. So pi over 2 divided by 4, I like to write that as pi over 2 times 1/4. Just a little easier to see that we should count by pi over 8 for our horizontal tick marks. All right, so let's label enough for one cycle. So let's count 1 pi over 8, 2 pi over 8 reduces to pi over 4, 3 pi over 8, and 4 pi over 8, which of course reduces to pi over 2. And this fourth tick mark to the right of the origin, that should always match your period with the setup. All right, let's label the vertical axis here. Just count by 1. Really, we just need up 1 and down 1. All right, so now we're ready for step 2. Let's plot our key points. And remember, we said that our A was negative up here. And that just means that we have a vertical reflection or reflection over the x-axis. And that means our original sine pattern flips. So we'll have a pattern of key points that are 0, 1, starting at the origin, minimum, 0, 2, maximum. So basically, if you've graphed one of these without a negative in front, you'll see that the max and min have just sort of flip-flopped places. And that makes sense with a vertical reflection. All right, so let's start. We will plot our 0, 1 at the origin. Our minimum will happen at pi over 8, that first tick mark moving to the right, and you get the y coordinate of this minimum point by looking at your value for a, so -1. All right, next horizontal tick mark, pi over 4 gets a 0, that's 0, 2. And then the maximum will happen at 3 pi over 8. Just take the opposite value of a to get that y coordinate. All right, so these are our 4 key points for our cycle, and all we have to do now is sketch in our sine curve. All right, so that looks like this. And of course, our pattern restarts at pi over 2, and you can repeat for as many cycles as you need in either direction. All right, so that's all there is to making a quick sketch for y equals negative sine of 4x. Be sure to subscribe for more graphing examples and lots of other tips.